Hello, thank you for coming to my video. If you would like to help my channel grow, please like and subscribe, and please click on this little bell icon so you never miss a future video. How's it going, everyone? Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Myself, I have been up since about 5:45 p.m. last night. It is currently 9:48 a.m. I work night shift. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to make a video. Actually, let's back out and let's do heroic. So I've been meaning to do this for a while. I've been wanting to do a video on the Halo series. I've even shot a bunch of footage for it, and I've been wanting to do it for the last couple months and kind of slowly working on it. And it was all going to be one video of all the games, but I think I'm going to do it in chunks. So Halo 1, Halo 2, and so on. And I'm going to do it in kind of like a Let's Play format. And that way I can kind of talk about it and talk about my experiences in the game and how much I love the games and the series as I'm playing it. And this way it'd just be a lot more fun to do. So first off, of course, we are playing the first Halo game. I absolutely love the first Halo. It is probably in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I don't know if it's in my top 5, but it's definitely my top 10. Halo 1 is easily my favorite of the Halos, and I'm hoping to just kind of share my stories of how I was playing this game when it came out and whatnot. So probably not going to get into Halo 2 or the rest of Halos. I'm going to just save those for future videos. So I got the screen divided up here. I am currently playing Master Chief Collection on the top screen here. That is live gameplay. That's where the sound is coming from. I have the original Halo on the bottom left, and I believe I was playing on an Xbox 360 just for better HDMI capture, if I remember correctly. And of course, on the bottom right, I have the Halo Anniversary Edition, which came out on the Xbox 360. And I'll be sharing my love for those as well. So, I mean, of course, it's the same Halo. We're playing, it's all the same campaign. And toward the end, I'll get into kind of like the multiplayer stuff as well. And I might get into multiplayer throughout. I'll probably be just all over the place as I'm playing this. So, definitely my favorite of Halos. Definitely my top 10 favorite games. So, when I first bought an original Xbox, I didn't really buy it for a key title or anything like that. I didn't buy it for Halo. I heard about it, I knew about it, but to me it was like, okay, it's another first-person shooter. I didn't know what the game was about or anything like that. Like, okay, I'm playing Perfect Dark and GoldenEye on Nintendo 64. Got lots of FPS games like Quake 3 and whatnot on my PC. You know, it's whatever. And I bought a used game. I think I bought WWF Raw, if I remember correctly, because I thought the graphics were really, really good. Gameplay, not so much, but graphics are pretty good. And the store that I bought the game from, a local store in my hometown called Video Games Plus, they actually had a used copy of Halo in stock. And it's like $35, $40, somewhere in that ballpark. And, you know, it was still $60 retail back then. And I passed on it. I think I played it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, yeah, it seems okay. Like, no, you got to play it more. You got to play it more. And I was in a hurry, had to go to work, so I kind of passed on it. Went to work. Later on that night, I was like, you know, maybe I should have looked into it. And I think I saw the game being talked about on G4 Tech TV or something like that. So went back the next day. They still had it in stock. I went ahead and picked it up. Took it home later that night. Decided to play it. First impressions were pretty good. I'm like, okay, I see what the game's about. And, of course, I'll talk about that as I progress through the game. But in a nutshell, once I got to about the second stage, I fell in love with the game. So it looks like it's going through the star. Oh, good. I can't skip this and can go right to the gameplay. So if you look at the original gameplay versus the anniversary gameplay, the original gameplay, of course, it was not an HD game, but it played at 480p resolution. And these videos are not going to be like, pixel perfect or anything like that, because I'm doing this video at 1080p just because it's too difficult to do 4K stuff with the equipment that I have, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. Everyone knows what Halo looks like. I'll do the pixel perfect stuff when I'm doing like retro games and things like that. But of course, I am playing this on an Xbox One X, but the game's not really like super enhanced for a One X, so it's not that big of a deal. Unless, of course, you're playing it at 4K, which of course I'm capturing it at 720p just for the sake of capturing this game at 60 frames per second. But the original versions, both the original and the anniversary, were 30 frames per second games, and the Master Chief Collection was 60 frames per second and full 1080p, which is pretty cool. Nice welcome change. Definitely a lot smoother, and of course, with both the Anniversary Edition and the Master Chief Collection, I can hit the back button on the controls, and it'll restore it back to the original graphics, which I believe I did on the bottom corner there, where you'll see me do it in a second. On the 360 version of the game, there was kind of like a 2-second delay when you did that, or on the Xbox One version, it's instantaneous. And of course, the Halo Master Chief Collection, it was a really, really crappy game when it came out, just because it was just full of bugs. And they just now fixed it. It's perfectly playable, and we'll get to like the meat and potatoes in terms of the Master Chief Collection as a whole once I get that far into the video. But I mean, that was pretty much what really sealed my love-hate relationship for Microsoft that I have now for the Xbox One system. It started with the launch, but the Master Chief Collection is what really did it for me. But yeah, the game works. I'm happy with the game now. The multiplayer works. It's a fantastic game now, where before it was just, it's okay. It should be better, but now it is better. So that's what's good. But back to the original Halo. Let's go ahead and skip this cutscene here. Oh, see, there I am in the corner, changing the graphics. And let's go ahead and change it to this one. So you can kind of look and see all three of them. And of course, I have the original game playing on the bottom left. I have it playing on a 360, which the 360 is, the original version is backwards compatible on the 360. Which of course upscales it to HD resolution, but it doesn't render it in true high def. It's like like that smoothing effect. I mean, it still looks better than the original. Reload here. There we go. Now the PC version of the first Halo, we'll get into it a little bit later, but that was really, really good. I mean, that was like kind of their first taste of playing this in high definition, which I believe Halo 1 on the Master Chief Collection was actually the PC version ported to that, if I remember correctly. Oops, didn't mean to hit that guy. Don't want to do that too many, because they will attack you. Yeah, the PC version of the game, when that came out, it came out before Halo 2 did, and it didn't really support 16:9 widescreen, which, widescreen monitors weren't really a big thing at the time. I mean, this is when CRTs were still standard. But, let's see, where's this guy's plasma rifle? There we go. I need some more pistol ammo. Let's go back to the high settings. There we go. I mean, if you like the art style, it's kind of cool. If you like the color. I mean, this was made shortly after Halo Reach, so that style art kind of matched Halo Reach a little bit. Is there pistol ammo here? Yes, there is. Excellent. Now, of course, you could switch the control schemes and make the controls in the Master Chief Collection pretty much however you want, which is another really nice thing about this version of the game. Oh, smack that guy. But yeah, back to the PC version. I mean, it ran at 60 frames per second. It ran at whatever resolution you wanted if you have the PC that supported it. I upgraded my PC at the time. I bought a Pentium 4 1.5 gigahertz so I can play it at decent settings. which, you know, played it at 1600 by 1200 resolution, if I remember correctly. And of course, the game looked fantastic. It looked like this. But yeah, back to the original game. When I first played it and I took it home, I'm going through this section of the game right here. I'm like, okay, yeah, game's kind of fun. But one of the things it originally did is it made it to where you can only carry 2 weapons. Like, you know, you throw down oh, got an achievement. You know, you pick up a weapon, it throws down another one. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting, because it kind of had this, Halo kind of had this realistic vibe to it, even though you're playing a sci-fi character in a big robotic suit of armor and fighting aliens. It kind of had this weird realistic feel to it. Like when you throw a grenade, like, do I have any regular grenades? I don't have any regular ones. But, you know, like the explosions and stuff like that, it just kind of had an interesting, unique feel to it. You know, the FPS games at the time were, you know, like Quake and Unreal Tournament, the early Unreal Tournament, I believe, or one of the Unreal games. But, you know, just like those fast-paced shooters, and here you had something that was a little slower, a little more duck and cover based, and things like that. So it definitely had a really unique feel to it. And even though you're only holding 2 weapons, you can switch between 2 grenades, and which is at the push of a button. It's like, you know, I push whatever button and you're throwing a grenade. You don't have to switch to your grenade weapon to throw it, like in Half-Life or I don't know if Quake had grenades or not. I don't remember. It's been so long since I played it. I didn't play a lot of it. And then you had a melee attack. You didn't have to switch to like a melee weapon or your fists or crowbars. So technically, you actually had 5 weapons with you, if you look at it from that perspective. But Halo kind of standardized the gameplay mechanic of only using 2 weapons. You know, because you don't have like a bag of holding. You don't carry like rocket launcher, grenade launcher, this rifle, that rifle, all that kind of stuff. So it kind of made sense. And grenade that dude. I love how the sticky grenades, just the grenades in this game, are more powerful than they are in the other Halos. But of course they have a longer delay time before they explode. A lot of people that started on Halo 2 that, let's see if I can lower my shields here so I can grab another overshield. There we go. A lot of people that started on Halo 2 and didn't play a lot of Halo 1 don't really care much for Halo 1. They don't really see much of the appeal for it. Which, I don't know, it's kind of like, it just had different style of gameplay. Which, you know, I'll kind of get to that more in my Halo 2 video, but it's kind of like, you know, getting used to Halo. It's like playing Halo 2, Halo 3, even Halo Reach to an extent. And all of a sudden you're playing Halo 4, which kind of modeled after Call of Duty, even though Halo 2 didn't really model itself after anything. You know, the gameplay was just too different. You like the older stuff better. And we'll get to Halo 4 later on as well. That's kind of like a whole nother thing, but I'm just kind of using that for comparison's sake. Halo 1 and Halo 2 had a much different feel to the games, which is why a lot of the people who loved Halo 1, when they start to play Halo 2, when it came out, it didn't quite feel the same. But getting in touch with them, or talk about the multiplayer in this a little bit. The game supported split-screen co-op with a campaign, which was really, really cool. I mean, the multiplayer in this game back during that time was just fantastic. And, of course, there was no Xbox Live at the time. I mean, Halo came out before Xbox Live, so it was all split-screen multiplayer, or you could network your Xboxes together and have your own TVs, which was fairly new at the time. There were a couple games that did it on some other systems, but it wasn't like a standard thing. Like, I don't remember if Dreamcast had something like that, but I think PlayStation 2 had something with one of the Gran Turismo games. But Xbox was the first one to kind of like standardize that. So when I picked up this game and I got hooked on it and I kind of messed around with the multiplayers, even though I was just by myself. I think I had one of my sisters playing or something like that, just so I had someone to shoot against. But my friends and I, certain group of friends I had, we would all hang out at the comic book store. Greatest comic book store in the world. It's called Neverland Comics. No longer exists, but I'm still friends with the people that owned it. But we would hang out there every Wednesday night. We'd do just our nerd stuff. We'd play video games, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic, whatever the heck we felt like. And one of my friends brought his Nintendo 64 a couple times, and we would play GoldenEye. And I brought my Xbox and Halo, because I just purchased it. And I told him, like, dude, if you guys like GoldenEye, you got to try this game Halo. It's like, well, it's not going to be better than GoldenEye. I'm like, no, you guys got to try it. It's really good. And they gave it a shot, and after a little while, all of a sudden, someone else bought an Xbox and bought a copy of Halo. So we had 2 Xboxes, 2 copies of Halo. We had plenty of TVs there, because they had TVs there on display for various things. So I was still going to college at the time. I was in a networking class. So I got some networking crossover cable, which it's like standard networking cable, but it has a couple of wires crossed. So it's basically made to hook a computer directly to another computer with no router or hub or anything like that in between. So we would hook the 2 Xboxes together, and I went and bought another controller. I forget if my friend got another controller or not, but let's see. How do we turn on the flashlight? There we go. Oh yeah, I like the flashlight in this game. I like how the flashlight, it just takes a while for the flashlight to go out. It's not one of those things that's like, it doesn't feel like a handicap kind of thing. Like, some games that have like a flashlight or something like that, it's like I can't really think of one off the top of my head, but you have your flashlight and it only lasts for like 5 seconds or some stupid thing like that. I mean, it's a sci-fi in the future. You got like powered laser guns and stuff. You think you'd be able to power a flashlight in longer than a minute. But, oh yeah, so back to the multiplayer Halo at the comic book store. Pretty soon, one of my friends, bought an Xbox and bought a copy of Halo because they enjoyed it. And we had 4 of us playing Halo on 2 different TVs, and we were able to, play that way. And then another friend bought an Xbox and a copy of Halo. Then another friend bought one. So every Wednesday night, it became our LAN party night, which we then started doing every Wednesday and Saturday night. And we'd have up to 3 or 4 Xboxes hooked up to various TVs. And normally we would have on average of 6 people playing. Sometimes only 4, a couple times up to 10. But I mean, that if you've never played a multiplayer game that you play online, if you've never played it like in a LAN setting, like with a bunch of friends with TVs hooked up together and stuff like that, you're missing out. It's just so much more fun. Oh, this guy's hiding behind here. But yeah, I mean, we were completely hooked in the game. We were just anxiously waiting for Halo 2, but it was 3 years away. And eventually the PC version came out. And the multiplayer on the PC version... Actually, before I get to that, I should talk about programs like X-Link, where you could hook your Xbox up to your PC, if your PC was hooked up to the internet, and that would trick your Xbox to thinking that it was still connected to a LAN. So you were able to play the game online without actually having an Xbox Live or the game even supporting Xbox Live. But your internet had to be really good. I mean, it had to be high speed, but it also had to have really low latency. So that way there was no delay or lag or anything like that. But I was never able to do that at home because I only had dial-up at the time. I didn't have any high-speed internet. It wasn't available in my area. But the PC version came out, and that still supported dial-up because a lot of PC gamers still use dial-up, like Warcraft 2, StarCraft, whatnot, or Warcraft 3 even. And it was pretty laggy, but it was still enjoyable. And it gave me a way to practice the game online for when I would go to our LAN parties at the comic book store, so I can, get better at the game and, kick their asses. And they would accuse me of cheating, but yeah, I mean, it was definitely a lot of fun. I mean, there'd be like a half-second delay when you shoot someone, when it actually hit him. You have to lead him a little bit when you're aiming in front of them. But eventually I moved and I got to a place that supported high-speed internet, so I was able to play the PC version online with a little better internet, which I'll see. Now here's the grenades I was talking about earlier. I mean, these grenades just go boom. It sends crap flying across the map. That's another thing I love about this version of the game. I mean, the first hit game. I mean, you throw a grenade and just crap just goes flying everywhere. You don't quite have that in the other Halos. But so yeah, I mean, it was the PC version online on high-speed internet. It was still kind of laggy, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't like playing Halo 2, but you know, it was a nice little filler. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun playing the game. Oh, did it trigger the thing where I can actually go in the life pod now? Yeah. There we go.
Now would be a very good time to leave.
So I'm looking down the corner. I was almost speedrunning the original version. I was taking my time in the anniversary. So we'll go ahead and load the next level here. I don't know how far I'm going to get in the game in this video. I probably won't be playing too much. Yeah, this stage here, when I first played the game,
Chief, can you hear me?
and I didn't even talk about the story. The story was nice, simple story, but just, you know, really good, kept you interested. Now, when I first played the game on my Xbox, and I didn't get an Xbox and copy Halo until about a year after it launched, so I was a little late to the party, but it was still really awesome. But I mean, most FPS games and stuff like that, I mean, this is, you know, PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox era. I mean, this was like a nice big open world right here. It was like, okay, this is more than just like inside rooms and buildings. I mean, you're actually like exploring a world. You know, it was really revolutionary at the time when the game came out. So, of course, I'm playing this, and I'm thinking, okay, it's just another FPS, but it's pretty good. And now, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, this game's getting better. I think when I first played it, I got lost in this little area. I think I went by the waterfall and didn't realize I had to come across the bridge. Or some stupid thing. Gotta kill one of these banshees here. There we go. The other one should fly away now. But yeah, back to the multiplayer. I mean, and not the PC multiplayer, but like the console multiplayer. We'd have our LAN parties, and we'd divide up amongst TVs. And our favorite games at the time was probably big maps like Blood Gulch and Sidewinder. I mean, we'd mix it up. We'd play Hang 'em High and Prisoner and whatnot. But the big maps, even though there were only like 4 or 5 or 6 of us, they were pretty good because those games we basically have it set up to where you're basically like hunting your opponents. You know, it's kind of like, you know, PlayerUnknown Battleground when it's like a huge map. There's not very many people left alive. Only you actually respawn when you die. But we'd have people that would hog the sniper rifle. We'd have a guy that would get in the tank and he tried to stay in the tank the entire game. And that was another thing about the vehicles. You know, they were pretty much indestructible, but, you know, you were still exposed. Like the tank, you had your head poking out, so you could still, you know, you still snipe the guy's head out. So the game had a good balance to it, even though the pistol was overpowered, but it wasn't too bad. You know, it wasn't that different from like using a long-range AR. Nice big open world here. And the AI in this game is, with the exception of the NPCs, the NPCs' AI is not that smart, but the enemy AI is really smart. I mean, even today, I mean, this game came out in 2001, I think it was, And the AI in this game was just revolutionary at the time, like how smart the enemies were and things like that, how they would strategize. And oh, there we are. I see the anniversary edition now. I finally finished that stage, so we get a good comparison here. Let's see, what graphics am I playing? The old ones? Okay, so here's a good shot of the old and new graphics with like the environment and things like that. I mean, even the old graphics still look pretty good. I mean, it's no Halo 4 or yeah, it's no Halo 4 graphics, but it's still pretty good. Halo 4 surprisingly had really good graphics, mainly because of the lighting. Alright, so this part here gets a little tricky. You basically have to defend all this and try and keep your guys alive. Did I mention this is my favorite Halo game? Let's see. I should probably grab a plasma pistol. I need to watch my health. Holy smokes. There we go. Let's grab a plasma pistol so I can zap their shields away. Hope there's a plasma pistol around here. I'll use a needler for now. I'm trying to do commentary and play at the same time, so I'm not doing as well as I normally do. Of course, I got the sound a little lower so it doesn't feed into my mic. Whoops. That's another thing. If a grenade goes off near another grenade on the ground, it'll just blow them all up. Oh, here's a guy over here I missed. Ah, he's got a pistol that I want. There we go. So that's another game I kind of touched up on a little bit. A lot of the weapons are pretty balanced, with the exception of the pistol being a little overpowered, but every weapon kind of has its own use in a different scenario. Like, you know, one weapon's a medium range weapon, another weapon's a long range weapon, another's a close range weapon. Some are slower, some are faster, but you can only carry two. So you kind of have to, like, you know, strategize and pick carefully what you're going to keep and hold on to. It's not just carry, you know, 10 different kinds of weapons with you that you can just switch to at any time. And when your shields deplete, it actually encourages you to stay behind and cover and recover your shields or health, which again was kind of revolutionary at that time because you didn't see a lot of games that had you do that. I mean, now it's almost kind of standard, you know, even with like Call of Duty games with your health and stamina and things like that. Let's see if I can time a couple grenades here. Get a couple guys in the back. Let's see, no one dropped grenades? Okay, there's one grenade. Oh, there we go, there's a couple. Oh, still got people alive. I don't know if there's any bonus or anything. Probably an achievement for it now. Oops, oh, that hit the tree. Okay, there we go, the other one went up there. Now, I can actually beat this game on Legendary, but it's a little difficult. The other Halos I can't do well in Legendary at all, but the first one I can. I can do decent. I can at least finish the game. But, you know, touching on the earlier subject, the game had no Xbox Live support. So if I wanted to practice so I can do better against my friends during a LAN party, I would basically just play the excuse me. I basically just play the campaign over and over again. Oh, and of course the music score in this is just fantastic. Game had this really amazing music score to it. Game was just a good game all around. I think it only, by the time Microsoft bought Bungie, because the game was kind of in development, like it was originally going to be a Mac game, it was going to be a real-time strategy at first, and then they made it a shooter, and it was coming out on the Mac, and then all of a sudden it was coming out on the PlayStation 2, and then Microsoft goes, no, we'll buy it, and by the time they bought the game, they had an 8-month deadline to make it for the Xbox. And as you progress through the stage later, you can kind of see how the game had a short deadline, because a lot of the stages were recycled where you play them backwards. And they did a good job making it not feel repetitive. So it's definitely an impressive game. So now here's another thing that was really unique with this style of game is the vehicles. Here's a little guy, a little gunner right here. So back when I first played the game and I get in the Jeep and I start driving around in this open world like this, this is the moment when I got hooked on Halo. When I went, holy shit, this game is amazing. I mean, this was the moment right here. So this is why I love a lot of those stages with vehicles and things like that, because it always kind of takes me back to that moment. And like, you know, big team battle or even small team battle in a big map. I mean, it always takes me back to that. It's really cool. I mean, even on LAN parties when we were, you know, get tired of, you know, just doing deathmatch or capture the flag, we just pop on the campaign, just do some co-op on the campaign for fun. I mean, there's no online campaign at the time. I mean, they didn't even add online co-op until Halo 3, I think. Maybe Halo... It could be Halo Reach, but I'm pretty sure they added it in Halo 3. But Halo 2 didn't have it. PC version didn't have it. PC version didn't have co-op in the campaign at all, because they couldn't figure out how to do it on the PC. But it was only 2-player online co-op, or 2-player local co-op, I mean, but it was still really good. I love driving the Warthog in this. It's just a lot of fun. Even in big team battle, I just love driving the Warthog. And there's a trick where I'll show you later. But if you can find one of the Marines that has a sniper rifle, if you can get him in the passenger seat, I mean, you can just drive around and just wreck the whole entire stage. Because he'll just snipe stuff, and he doesn't run out of ammo, so he just constantly shoots things. Halo 2, you can actually get a guy with a rocket launcher to sit in the passenger seat with a lock on, but we'll get to that in the Halo 2 video. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Got some notes over here. I'm trying to go over the notes and the bullet points and whatnot. I'll clear out these guys real quick so I don't accidentally fall off the edge. So I remember this kind of being a little dark with the original graphics, like if it hit back there. Like I remember driving off the edge a couple times. You kind of had to have a little awareness of the level first. But it looks a little better with the anniversary graphics. Let's see, did I kill everyone, or is there a couple more left? I mean, you look at the anniversary game, even when it came out on the 360, and yeah, it was only 30 FPS, but I mean, the lighting and everything in it was just fantastic. And this was the original Halo engine. So, I mean, they basically remade the single-player campaign with the original engine, so it had the same feel of the original one, like that kind of like that low-gravity jumping, things like that. I mean, Halo 1 definitely had a unique feel to it that just made it more fun compared to the other Halos. Stick him in the back. I get them both? Oh, I got them both. Nice. So as far as the Anniversary Edition, I mean, I remember when that first got announced, and there's definitely a dedicated fan base that loved the first Halo over the second one, and by that time they loved it more in the third one and Halo Reach. So, I mean, when that came out, people were like, holy crap, is this actually really coming out? And, announced with, high def graphics and stuff. And even though the original Halo was backwards compatible on the 360, and it supported a 480p resolution on the original console, it didn't support native widescreen like Halo 2 and of course the future Halos did. Like you can see I'm playing on a 360 down below, and it still has those kind of black bars on the side. So of course the Anniversary Edition had that widescreen support. Let's grab these grenades real quick. It had widescreen support, and then it had the HD 720p resolution, which of course if your Xbox 360 was set to 1080p, it would kind of do that upscale trick, so it would display it at 1080p, even though it wasn't rendered at 1080p. But yeah, I mean, the game was still a noticeable upgrade. And it was $40 brand new when it came out, which, of course, $60 being the suggested retail of a brand new video game at the time.
The captain really gave them hell. If we can find
But, I mean, some people just kind of liked it to buy the first one digitally or stick with that or buy a used copy, and which is fine. I mean, if you were happier with the original one at the time, then that's great. I mean, of course here I am playing all three of them, and I absolutely love all three of them. If I still had the PC version, I would have that one in the corner as well. But the disappointing thing with the Anniversary Edition was they completely remade the single player for the 360. It had this original engine and everything. But the multiplayer, they did not remake. Basically, what they did with the multiplayer is they added Halo 1 remade maps onto Halo Reach. So, and that was a huge, huge bummer. And they tried to update the game to where there would be a playlist where it would add the pistol with 3 shots, like a 3 headshot kill, so it kind of add more of a Halo 1 feel to it. But they did a crappy job. I mean, they were saying, yeah, we're going to remake it, so we're going to redo the engine so it has that Halo 1 feel, but they went so half-assed with that. So I want to see if I can do that trick that I talked about to get the sniper in the passenger seat. There's a good path that I like to take. But yeah, I mean, the graphic enhancements, I mean, back when this game came out, it looked really good, in comparison. And if you didn't like it, all you had to do was switch back to the old graphics. Uh-oh, the guy's still up here? Here we are. Where's the guy with the sniper? There he is. Come on, get in, buddy. Get in, get in. Yeah. So now we got a sniper in the passenger seat, and you'll see him just completely wreck house. Wreck house, is that a saying? I don't know. It is now. There we go. He'll just continue to shoot things, and basically the rest of the stage I'm just going to drive around and let my gunners shoot everything. But yeah, I mean, the Halo Anniversary Edition, the multiplayer, even though it was all on one disc, I mean, you didn't have to like switch discs or anything like that. It was an expanded Halo Reach. I mean, the maps were really well done. I mean, they were faithful remakes. But it just wasn't the same. It didn't have that same feel. The pistol, even though it killed in 3 shots, it only held 8 bullets in it. It didn't hold the whole 14 or 16, however many holds in the game. So you run out of bullets faster. The accuracy of your pistol, you should try to shoot at the same rate and it wouldn't be as accurate. And they tried to update that a little bit, but they didn't do as good of a job. And when the game came out, a friend of mine brought his 360 over, and I went and rented an extra copy. And even though the game supports online play, which it's still was a good way to try to experience Halo 1 online, even though it wasn't really Halo 1. we decided to do a comparison through a LAN party, because that's how we played Halo 1. And it was a good mix of people. Like, I loved Halo 1 more than anyone. A couple of my friends who were from the comic book store, they showed up. A couple more friends who never really played Halo 1, they're more used to the newer ones. So we had a really good, diverse cast of people there, a very diverse cast of Halo fans. And we found that if we went into the settings, we could update the game to make it more like the original. And I actually have a video of that from back in the day. Like when I did this LAN party, I actually have footage, and I used it for like a blog I was doing at the time. But I re-uploaded on my channel, and I'll post a link to it in the description. But you could change the jump height and the player gravity, so you have that nice slow jump like in Halo. It's not the Halo Reach jump. When you grab the overshield in Halo Reach and your character's on fire, you can disable that. So if you grab the overshield, you can't tell that they have it, just like in Halo 1. You can up the grenade count to 4. I mean, it's just the starting grenade count. It's not the capacity. I mean, I don't know why they didn't update that, but yeah, I mean, even with those little changes, the game felt much closer to Halo 1 multiplayer. But when you play the anniversary playlist on matchmaking, they don't have those changes. I mean, they're just simple changes. They could roll out that little playlist update today if they want to. I mean, some people still play Halo Reach, and it's still fun to play. But they just did a poor job. And it's not just the fact that they used the Halo Reach engine, because if they had more time, they could have updated it to feel more like Halo 1 and made it really faithful. Like, if you look at Halo 2 Anniversary on the Master Chief Collection, I mean, that was just the Halo 4 engine, which, of course, that Halo 4 engine was just a rebuilt version of the Halo Reach engine. So it's basically kind of the same engine, just heavily modified, and they really put their time into it to make it feel like Halo 2. And Halo 2 Anniversary feels very, very much like the original Halo 2. I mean, they did a phenomenal job with that. I mean, not Master Chief Collection as a whole, but in terms of making that feel like the original Halo 2, they did a really good job with that. And they could have did that with this as well. But they didn't want to use the original engine on multiplayer because they didn't want to split the multiplayer community. Because, Halo Reach was the primary Xbox Live game at the time, and some people still played Halo 3. But if you add another Halo that's on Xbox Live, you're basically splitting the fan base up 3 ways. And they didn't want to do that. They wanted to keep them all clumped together. Which, I understand that, and I respect that. In many ways, I agree with that. But if you're going to do that, you need to make sure the game accurately feels like the original game. I mean, if you have to have more bullets and you have to redesign the HUD or whatever it is, you got to be faithful to. And if the game is going to end up being $60 as a result instead of $40 or whatnot, and this was when after 343 bought out, or not bought out. It's when 343 took over Halo when Bungie left Microsoft to eventually work on Destiny, and we're going to cover Destiny 2 in a future video. But it was unfortunate. But after we did the LAN party, we kind of did like a little vote to see who liked the original one better, and just kind of like what everyone thought of the game. And the reviews were pretty mixed. Like, everyone had fun. Everyone loved the game. So it's not like the multiplayer in Halo Anniversary was bad. It was still good. It was still fun. But it just wasn't the original. And a couple of us prefer the original. A couple of us, just enjoyed them either way. Didn't really care as long as they got to play. And one person actually liked Halo Anniversary better, who was a huge Halo 1 fan. Which kind of surprised me, but at the same time it didn't. Probably because I bought him pizza. I actually bought everyone pizza and soda and basically turned it into a huge pizza party, so... But yeah, I mean, we all had fun and we all enjoyed the game, so that's definitely one thing we agreed on. But one thing that was weird another thing that was weird that I thought in terms of accurately remaking Halo was they didn't really remake. Excuse me. They didn't really remake enough of the Halo 1 maps. The maps they did remake, they did very, very faithful job. But like, instead of remaking Battle Creek from Halo 1, they remade Beaver Creek from Halo 2. And it's only subtle differences, so it wasn't like that big of a deal. But then, instead of putting in a map like Sidewinder, they put in a map like Headlong. I think it's Headlong. The one with the big building in there and little bridge and that kind of thing. It's like, okay, this is supposed to be Halo 1 anniversary, not Halo 2. Why are you putting in Halo 2 stuff? You should be putting in a map like Sidewinder. And I get that they just didn't have enough time to put over like all the Halo 1 maps that they wanted, but what they should have did was included Forge World on the Halo Anniversary disc. And if you didn't want to buy the game, you could have just bought the Halo 1 Anniversary maps as a map pack for Halo Reach, which was cool. That way everyone could still play together. But if they would have included Forge World on the disc, then people could have like forged a lot of the maps that were missing, like Wizard or just whatever else, and that would have helped fill the void. What I think they should have did, when I think about it, is they should have added a second Forge World and made it like a Snow Forge World or even like a Desert Forge World or something like that. And like the first Forge World has the base layout for Coagulation or Blood Gulch, the second Forge World could have the base for Sidewinder. And I thought that would have been a really, really cool idea. But yeah, just a thought.
Let's hurry and find the final lifeboat so we can link up with the rest of the survivors.
But I'll post like a little video, and maybe I'll post it at the end. Oh, this is where I came from. I'll post like a little thing into what settings to change in Halo Reach or Halo Anniversary to make it feel more like Halo 1. So if your friends ever play a custom game or something like that, and you want to try out that version of the game, but make it feel more like Halo 1, you can kind of just let me know in the comments what you think. Cool thing about the Halo Anniversary is once you play a Halo Anniversary game type where you have the 3-shot pistol, you could save that in your history, play against someone that just has Halo Reach with that same game type, even on a different map, and you can actually save the 3-shot pistol game type and play it with Halo Reach without even buying the maps or anything. So that was kind of neat at the time. No one really realized that. But it required a couple different accounts to do so. Like your friend had to play it, and then you had to play a custom game with your friend who had that game type. But it was what it was. I mean, you're better off just buying the maps. They were great maps. I don't really like buying DLC, but if you didn't buy the Anniversary Edition disc, which also came with a code for the DLC, it was definitely worth buying those maps alone. Oh, and it also had Firefight. That's another thing I forgot about. It had an extra Firefight map for Halo Reach, which was basically a remake of this little area right here. So that was kind of cool. Firefight was basically Halo's version of a horde mode. You know, we're just in waves and waves of enemies. First introduced in Halo ODST, which I really like Halo ODST, which, yes, we will get to that as well. So, yeah, what else can we talk about in this game? I think I covered almost everything I wanted to talk about, at least everything I got in my bullet points. Yeah, I love the weapons in this game versus the future Halos. Like the shotgun specifically. The shotgun is actually powerful. They weakened the shotgun too much in Halo 2. I guess I should save that conversation for my Halo 2 video. Trying not to get out of here. I'm trying to stay in the Warthog just because I enjoy driving around too much. Yeah, one thing about 343 Industries doing the Halo stuff. I mean, they definitely should have did a better job with it. I mean, a lot of people are saying that, you know, Bungie should have stuck with Halo and that kind of thing, but you look at Destiny, how it just kind of not underperformed, but Destiny kind of disappointed a little bit. I don't think they would have did any better with Halo, but yeah. But the good news is they definitely followed up with Master Chief Collection and they fixed it. I mean, it took them way too long to do so, but they fixed it. Better late than never. So I can at least recommend the game to people, where before it was kind of hard to, unless it was like $5 or $10. Now it's at least a good game, and it's on Game Pass too. I mean, Game Pass is a smoking deal. I don't like digital stuff. I don't like buying DLC or digital games, but I love Game Pass. $10 a month, you can play. I don't know if you can play all the Halos, but you know you can play this one. Oh, there he is. Come on, I see you. There's another guy around here somewhere. Yeah, a lot of little things in the Halo Anniversary multiplayer, like that plasma rifle. You know, it has like a little stun effect. You know, 60 rounds in the. Oh, didn't even notice that guy. I thought he shot his own Marine. 60 rounds in the assault rifle. If you're driving a tank and your head's covered up versus your head being exposed. Just little things. So yeah, here's the end of the stage right here. Here's a little fun thing I like to do. Let's park the Warthog. That never gets old. That graphics looking down off the cliff just look amazing. I mean, you look at the original graphics, it's, you know, I mean, the graphics were still really good back then, especially like the background right there, but yeah, I mean, that just looks really cool. Here we are, end of the stage. Now we're on to the next stage. So yeah, I mean, even though Halo Anniversary Edition, just the game as a whole, it was a disappointment, but a blessing at the same time. I mean, it was definitely worth playing the original game as a remake, which I believe supported online co-op, so that was kind of cool. It was laggy though, but it was still really cool. This stage I love. This stage is a lot of fun. Now, a trick with this stage is you do not want to get rid of the sniper rifle. If you think you run out of ammo, there's actually ammo refill throughout the entire stage. So do not get rid of your sniper. Here's another thing I miss in Halo games. The night vision. That little night vision sound like the Splinter Cell games. Why did they decide to get rid of this? I love this. That's just such a cool little effect. Of course it looks better like this with the original graphics, but so I want to try and stay back. I don't want to move in because I want my Marines to actually live. Like the first good half of the game, or 2/3, I mean, every stage, even though they recycled a lot of stuff, you know, like the assault on the control room stage, you know, it's, you play it again later, but you play it backwards. The second half of this stage, you play it again and whatnot, but every level, every stage still feels unique and like a different experience. It's still a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, there's no pistol on this level. Are Marines going in? Yep, Marines are moving in. There's an elite somewhere. There he is. Let's see, there should be some grenades around here. Of course, the advantage of playing the PC version of the game when it came out is you could play it with mouse and keyboard. A lot of PC gamers love their mouse and keyboard. When I got this on PC, I plugged in, I had like a little USB adapter for the original Xbox controller, and you can download some custom drivers. I stayed with playing it on the controller, even though the game had pretty good controller support. It didn't quite have the auto aim when you're playing online and whatnot, but I mainly stuck with it so I would, as a form of practicing, so when I would play the Xbox version at our LAN parties, I was trying to get better. So it was basically just a way to practice. But the multiplayer support was still, I don't know if people still play it, but people played it for quite a while. Oops, come on. Love the music score in this game. I mean, this part of the game right here, when it played this little music track right here, that's probably when you realized, holy crap, this music is really good. The placement of it and everything. I mean, it was like a work of art back then. I mean, it's just really cinematic in a way. I mean, I don't know how much Bungie paid Paul McCartney for music in Destiny to screw over the original composer, Marty O'Donnell, but they overpaid for Paul McCartney, and they screwed up the deal with Marty. I mean, that's just a dumb thing to do. What a bunch of idiots. Of course, just a quick reload trick. Like if I reload, and then... Oh, there, I did it too soon. Reload, and then melee attack. You can do like a quick reload trick. You do a little bit in Halo 2 with most of the weapons, but Halo 3, not so much.
Covenant forces detected up ahead. The path up on the left should let us sneak up around them.
See if I can time this grenade just right. That was a good grenade. Oh, I see. Oh, dang, he moved. Oh, there he is. There we go. Got him. Love the art and the mountains and the planets and whatnot. And just really cool stuff. So here I always like to try and jump and take out as many of these guys as I can before my Marines move in. Oop, come on. Oh! Let's try that again. I used to be really good at this. There we go. I know I say this with a lot of games, and I know the chances of this is kind of small, but I would love to see this remade and ported over to the Nintendo Switch. That would be awesome. Alright, let's see here. The guy up there, and if I do this right, because I don't want to go too forward, because if I go forward right here, my Marines will flank around the side. A couple of them will die, but if I go around the side, they'll go forward. So I move up just a little bit and take out as much as I can without triggering the vent. The Marines will kind of hang back. Yeah, see, the reinforcements came, but my Marines aren't moving up there to die yet. So, because I don't want them to get wiped, I like them to hang around. They make good decoys. There we go. Oh, I see you. Let's go get some more ammo, because there's a ammo supply back there. I think it disappears if you go too far. So like I said earlier, the enemy AI is really good. Your ally AI, not so much.
Do I owe you money?
There we are. Grab some extra stuff. I think I grabbed it all. Yep. And there's some more sniper ammo up there too, right before the gravity lift onto the ship. Come on, dude. Follow me. Follow me. Let's go. There we go. They do the same thing in Halo 2 as well. I would love to have a scope like that on my hunting rifle. That rectangular looking night vision scope. Is that all of them? Yeah, there we go. Should be a cloak around here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. And I think there's like a double melee move you can do, and I don't know how to do it. But I've seen it done in some videos. Of course, I'm cloaked, so I can just go in and just grenade a bunch of people real quick. Should be able to knock that gunner off there. Oh, we got a gunner shooting from the distance there. There we go. That took too many shots. Oh, another gunner over there. There we go. See who's shooting up here. This guy. See, are there any grenades? Oh, hey, well, welcome to the party. Better late than never. We shall call that last guy that keeps coming late Brave Sir Robin. Alright, so should trigger a thing here. There we go. Not good at timing the grenades. I can do okay. Yeah, I think a bunch of guys will come. Oh, they don't come. Ah, I mistimed that. I forgot to drop in the ship first. That's alright. Ooh, two birds with one stone. I almost said two girls with one cup. Do not search for that. Not doing too bad. Forgot if I'm playing on normal or heroic. I thought I picked heroic, but it feels like I'm playing on normal. That's okay, we can enjoy the game that way. Wait for some hunters. There we go. Now, the trick to killing these guys quickly in Halo 1 is if you hit them in the back when they're exposed with either a pistol or a sniper rifle, it'll kill them in one shot. It's easier to do with a pistol, of course. Oh, that guy got rocked. Oh, crap, I'm getting rocked. Oh, crap. Oh, there we go. I was trapped in the corner for a second. Oh, come on, get out of the corner. Alright, I'll go after this guy. Oh, missed. Come on, let's try that again. Oh, I totally hit him. There we go. One shot, dead. Is he stuck? Oh, no, he's definitely not stuck. There we are. Got some health. Got some more sniper ammo. So yeah, the main difference between the three games, I mean, your original version, it's the original graphics playing at 480p, 4:3 resolution. Your Anniversary Edition plays at 16:9, 720p. Both those games at 30 frames per second. And of course, your Master Chief Collection at a good, solid 1080p at 60 frames per second. 4K if you're playing on Xbox One X on a 4K TV. So yeah, I mean, just great, fantastic game. So I wanted to squeeze in some Halo multiplayer footage in here before I pack it in and get done for the day. So look for the Halo 1 playlist. Here we are. So they finally added back the Halo 1 4v4 playlist. It's not all just 2v2. So in the kind of the bottom corner there, I have my old video kind of playing on a loop. That's the video of my friends when we all kind of played the LAN party. I did like a comparison video, and I'll post that link in the description, but I just kind of want to post it like in the corner here just to compare against the Master Chief Collection version of the game. But it's the original version, the anniversary version, like a comparison between the games, like what's different, and then just the LAN party, just back and forth, and even shows like a little clip of how I changed the settings to make it feel more like the original Halo. But I'll kind of have that playing just for comparison while I'm playing a couple matches of the Master Chief Collection here. And of course, a lot of people don't realize this, but if you know what to look for, you can catch it. This was actually ported from the PC version of Halo 1. And the way you can tell that, I mean, you could tell it when the game first came out. Like, there would be times when it would say, like, when you die, it would say, like, press space to view scores or something like that. Like, press a space bar. It'd be real quick and real subtle. But there's also some map geometry differences in this version and the PC version. Like in Hingham High, for example, that trench in the center, it has some missing geometry where it's easier to jump out of the trench. Which my theory is that they changed that to make it easier when you're playing with keyboard controls, and they never quite changed it back. But it's just it's such a subtle difference that it doesn't ruin the game at all. I mean, it still feels like the Xbox version of Halo. And for the most part, it is. Good old pistol. "12 bullets. It holds 12 bullets. Of course, the grenades, a little bit more powerful, have a little more of a delay on them, though. They could have changed that. I mean, if they could change pistol damage in Anniversary, they could have changed the grenade damage, the grenade timing. Just little things like that. Just a little more work in the game, and it would have given them the finishing touches to make it feel like an authentic Halo 1 experience, even in the time crunch that they had. Which, you know, at the time they were working on Halo 4. But like the plasma rifle here, if you shoot someone with it, they'll have like a little stun ability like that. It's like a split-second stun. And, you know, the funny thing about Halo Reach, I don't want to get into it too much now. I'll get into it more in the Halo Reach video. But Halo Reach, you can kind of definitely tell that they were tired of making Halo. And the people at 343, that was their main job. I mean, that's what they were hired to do. So if you don't want to work on Halo, then don't work on 343. So I was definitely more interested of seeing what Halo 4 would turn out to be when it was coming out than it was Halo Reach. Because Halo Reach was like, okay, they're just making another one. Now it's feeling played out, and they're shoehorning abilities in. But all I wanted was to be able to play this online, and now I can. I just wish a lot of my comic book friends from back in the day were on this, playing this game online. Ooh, a triple kill with a grenade. Grenades are so much more powerful in this. I mean, in Halo 2, the grenades were just really awful week. They had to buff the grenades in one of the patches, I think. But like, look at this stuff right here. You throw a grenade, it just goes flying across the map. Same with the rockets. I mean, it just had this craziness feel to it of just stuff flying everywhere. I mean, you get like 4 people at once and they're throwing grenades all over the place. Just has this crazy feel to the game. Halo 2 didn't quite have that. It was good in its own way, but we'll get to that. And of course, that video in the corner, if it gets done playing, it's going to loop in the corner. It's going to loop over and over again. So if you get tired of seeing it loop, then just put your hand over the video or something. So it looks like they all quit. That was another thing with Halo 1 on the Master Chief Collection is it didn't really have good matchmaking support on Master Chief Collection. Like the Halo 1 playlist, it was a 2v2 playlist, and they were like 15-minute games. So all it would take is one person to quit, and then it would just ruin the whole game. And about a year after launch, they added a 4v4 playlist around Thanksgiving, and it was a good playlist. And then after about a week, they got rid of it. So I don't know why it took them so long to bring it back, but it was just a dumb thing to do. So, but now it's back. It wasn't like any lag or anything, or any additional lag, but yeah, now it's back. Now you can actually enjoy the game. If somebody quits in the lobby, or in the middle of the game, it's not that big of a deal. But I mean, it used to take like 5 to 10 minutes sometimes to find a match, and now it just takes 10 seconds. There's no voting, so they took out the voting, which if they got to do that to make the matchmaking more smoothly, then so be it. So, yeah. All in all, really good game. I mean, even the Anniversary Edition was still good in its own way. Still had that 3-shot pistol. Well, you had to shoot it just a little bit slower. All the different comparisons. The rifle, the running speed. Sniper rifle. Couldn't quite shoot it as fast. Didn't have that night vision. Plasma pistol. It would weaken anyone in the vehicle, but it wouldn't stun the vehicle. No stun effect on the plasma rifle there. Grenades were more powerful in the original. Oh. I was just talking about how good matchmaking was now, and now it fizzled. Oh, there we go. An idling player in the party. Okay, so someone bugged out. They probably quit in the middle of matchmaking. Yeah, like the falling gravity when you're just jumping off versus just falling. I'm talking about like the Halo versus Halo Anniversary Edition here. Did a lot of little comparisons here to show the differences. Here was just the base running speed. And this is before the custom settings that we did. For whatever reason, the running speed was set at 110% by default. I don't know why they did that. But, yeah, for whatever reason. Hopefully we'll find another match today. I was just praising how good this game is now. Don't disappoint me. You're going on YouTube. You don't want a bad name for yourself. I mean, you've had a bad name for yourself for the last 4 years, and you just patched the game, and now you're fixed. I've been telling everyone how you're fixed and how you should buy the game now. There we go. There's some players. Of course, all the differences, like the vehicle speed and things like that. Hitting someone from behind, You still kill them in one hit. Of course, there's the assassinations on the Halo Reach. So here's the settings. You go in, you change the player gravity, the jump height, the grenade count, the overshield display, and one other thing. I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, the base speed to 100. Mainly the jump speed and the gravity. I mean, those are the two main things to really make it feel like Halo. Of course, footage from our LAN party that we had. Called a bunch of friends, had them come over. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast. We had 3 people on one TV, 2 people on another TV. Wizard, also known as Warlock on Halo 2.
Capture the flag.
Another thing I forgot to touch up on was the PC version of Halo, the first Halo. They added extra maps, and they were big team battle maps, and they were huge, huge maps. You had Death Island, I think it was. It was almost the size of the Silent Cartographer campaign stage. You had, I forget the name of it, but it was like a big, long bridge. What else was there? You had Infinity. It's just a big, giant infinity-shaped map. Another one I forget off the top of my head, but then, like the picture's in my head, but I forget the name. But anyway, the PC version had extra big team battle maps, and they were really good. They were a lot of fun to play. And the great thing is, they added those maps in Master Chief Collection. I can't talk this morning. I'm way too tired. But they added those maps in the Master Chief Collection. So the Master Chief Collection was definitely a total package. It had both old and new maps. So, oh, he smacked me with that. Crap. I still got him, though. So yeah, we basically played, in our LAN party, we played the old map, and then we played the recreation of that map, just to kind of gauge the differences. And with some minor exceptions, the maps were very faithful remakes. And the cool thing about the remakes is because they're on Halo Reach, you could do things to them in Forge, and there are actually 2 versions of the map. There was a Halo Reach version where it had like little gravity lifts here and extra corridors there, like little enhancements and things like that. Or there was the original versions of the map where it would have like doors cutting off the corridors or whatnot. So it was like the original version. So that was kind of cool. I liked how they did that. I hated how they would for example, remake Hang 'em High in Halo 2, but then they have like extra things here and there. And I mean, it's cool to reimagine it with some extra stuff, but at the same time, people want the original map. It took them forever to add that. I mean, they added that map like a few months before Halo 3 came out, so no one really got to enjoy it and play it. I am not doing too well. They are beating the hell out of us. I need some more soda. My voice is almost gone. Been screaming at engineers all night. Worked a 12.5-hour shift last night. And Of course, there's minor differences in the Halo 2 version of the map. In Halo 2, instead of adding ladders, they added gravity lifts. I always like the ladders better. I like how the ladders in the multiplayer maps, it basically gives you a risk to go up and get whatever item or whatever ability or something that's up there. Like you have to turn your back, you have to have your back exposed for a few seconds in order to get it. But there's a reward for the risk if you do it right. I always felt like the gravity lifts were kind of shoehorned from Quake and whatever other arena first-person shooters. And they're good for custom games and whatnot, but I never cared for gravity lifts in Halo games. Not the one in that campaign, but I mean like the ones in the multiplayer stage where it like bounces you across the stage. With the exception of some custom games, of course. I got him, but someone else got me. Now, of course, like I was doing earlier with the campaign where you hit the back button on the controller and it changes from old to new graphics, because this was never remastered in the Anniversary Edition, there's only the old graphics. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And the game looks really good in 4K. And if you're playing on Xbox One X and you have a TV that supports HDR, I'm not really a fan of HDR in gaming, but in Master Chief Collection it actually looks really good. Even in Halo 1. Because you see, like that teleporter that's glowing in the background, with your HDR turned on, it's actually like brighter on the TV. So it's basically like the brightness of pixels. Like that little light bar right there, it's actually like glowing, so it actually looks like a light bar. Just little things like that. So that's kind of cool. But I just leave HDR off. I don't really mess with it. I didn't buy my TV for the HDR. I bought it because it was 4K and it's 75 inches. Go big or go home. Yeah, I would love for them to add a Halo 1 Big Team Battle playlist. Which I'm really glad in Master Chief Collection they split up the Halo 3 Big Team Battle into its own playlist. Because everyone would just vote on Halo 3 the whole time. But yeah, that's a fun game. Even though I lost. Still had fun. But yeah, that is all the versions of Halo 1, with the exception of the PC version, of course. But yeah, I mean that's my story of the original Halo and why I love the game so much. And hopefully I shared something fun and If you guys have a fun experience of why you like the original Halo so much, or if you hate it, or whatever, feel free to share your story down below in the comment section. And this is part 1, and I will hopefully see you guys for part 2 sometime in the next couple days with Halo 2. I'm going to go get some sleep. I'll see you guys later.